just not waiting for Francis now. Everyone, welcome to our interview with Arielle Furman. She created the Theater.com commercial, Connect and Play. And next to me, beside me, is Sod. As you know her, she was a former Therian and Island Guide. And she is also on the community team with Real Life Plus. So, you guys want to say hello?
Hey, Ariella here. Nice to see everyone.
Hello, hi everybody. It's Sod.
Okay, so Arielle, would you like to give us a background of what you do?
Sure. So I run a company called Framed in 3D, and we create 3D animated promos for a very diverse roster of clients. We've worked with virtual worlds like Dare.com and Second Life, and we've also worked with a number of real-life clients. Anyone from technology companies, small businesses, anyone who has a message that they need to share with the world. And I guess what my job is to kind of be a bridge and be able to tell that message and spread it to other people via the internet.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Thanks.
Now, who do you work with? Like, what kind of companies have you been working with throughout the years?
So, I've worked with some pretty high-profile clients, and I work with some small businesses, and I love working with both for different reasons on their own. I think people know my work most by some pieces I did for IBM. I got an opportunity to work with HP, with Eli Lilly, and a couple others, and all of their needs were all very unique and all very different. But their basic premise was they had a story to share, and I had the opportunity to visualize that story for them with animation.
That's pretty good. I wish I was able to do that. Now, what do you use to produce your advertisements, your virtual advertisements?
So I use a virtual platform. So for Dare.com, I use their platform. And for the majority of my other work, I actually use Second Life. And basically I call it virtual filmmaking because people from all over come together. I have a team. I work with a builder who creates the sets. I might work with a character designer. And we're all a team, and we create these visuals together. And I use a very simple software program to actually film the creations of my team called Fraps. And Fraps is a software program that will actually capture the screen and allows me to bring it into my editing system on my computer, so I can edit the video and edit the content so that others will be able to see it as well.
That's really good. That is pretty great. Like, I wish I can't even do that with the Fraps, because if I use Fraps, sometimes my computer would just go on its crash mode, and then it takes me forever to get it back together. So what was it like? Now, how did they contact you? Like, how did they know that you did the advertisements?
So I actually think I reached out to them first because I thought their platform was so interesting, and I saw some pictures and I read all about. I followed them through social media sites, learned about them, found out some of their goals and how they started, and just became a fan of their work and their platform. And so I contacted the company to see if they were interested in some promotional videos, and they were actually at a time where they were looking into this option, and we got to talking, and I was connected to a woman named Janice who works there, and her and I kind of became the brains to the project. We brainstormed together, worked together, and that's how we did it.
That's great. And by the way, for those who don't know Janice, she is the high board area underneath Michael Wilson. She was known as the CCO. And right underneath Janice is B Square, as in Betsy Book. And she was the VP member experience as well. So when Janice spoke to you and said it would be great if you would do your work with us, what kind of ideas did you have in mind to use for Day.com?
Well, she actually had a script that of all the different activities, vehicles, communities, and events that she wanted to be covered for the commercial, and it was in written form, and she sent me the document. And so she created this backbone for me, almost like a skeleton for me. And my job was to take that skeleton she created and almost add like the flesh to it, and almost like color in the lines. So I took the idea she had, and actually first thing I did was create a storyboard. And a storyboard is actually something used in film and video production where you draw what you're going to film. What you see in your head that you're going to film, you draw it first on like a piece of paper using boxes. You can use stick figures, any way to illustrate what's going to happen in a 30-second time span. And I sent her this document, and we kind of used it as almost our script. We would always refer to it, and it really helped us out through the production. So that's where the idea came from. And it went through a couple revisions until we came at something that we both were really happy with.
Wow, that's really good. Now, how long did it actually take to develop the advertisements for the Connect and Play?
So the pre-production, which is all the planning, the idea process we just talked about, that in itself probably took about a month. The shooting of all the real life characters, all the like the real video you saw, the real actors, that only took a day. And then the filming inside Dare.com, the virtual world, all the different events you saw there in the commercials took 2 days. So 3 days shooting, a month for pre-production, and maybe another month for editing and changes and preparing it for the internet, things like that. So maybe it was like a 2 to 3 month process overall, I would say.
Well, that's not bad. Now, I know it was your first time in Dare.com. Now, what was it like when you first entered there? Like, I know, like, as a new member, it's sometimes a little bit difficult. Like, what did you think of the user interface and everything that they had there?
When I first came in, I thought it was simple, it was very user-friendly, and also very appealing. Just compelling how the menus were. I wanted to play, and I wanted to try everything out. I wanted to learn it really fast. And overall, as far as the camera controls and everything, I think I picked up on that actually pretty easily. I took a couple of days, came in a couple times, and each time I came in, I got more and more familiar. But I felt it was very user-friendly, and even if I'm a technical person, but even if I wasn't a technical person and didn't work with computers all day long, I think I could have came in there and learned it very quickly as well. I think it was a well-created platform.
Yeah, I thought that the user interface that they worked on throughout the years was actually pretty simple, and it has gotten a lot better throughout the years, even though they had some bugs here and there. But pretty much any virtual world that you go into has a bug, which we all know that. Now, I know that you worked with other members as well, with some of the staff. Now, do you know who was in the video as the staff members for the characters?
That's a really good question. Unfortunately, I don't remember any of their names, but I know that they were they all worked closely with Janice because I remember them being very closely connected and very friendly. So I felt like it felt like they all knew each other for years, and they were all so nice. I I forget what their names were, but they all worked for There.com.
I see. And I noticed that when I read your story on, I think where was it, online or on Twitter? I'm not too sure. I saw two pictures on there. One was the camera crew inside the house, and the other one was like outside in the cold. What was it like working outside in the cold weather?
That was interesting. The goal was to keep warm, and it definitely was unbearable that day. And the location of the shoot was Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So, as you can imagine, one of the coldest cities in the U.S. by far, and it was probably in the dead of winter, and we actually had to park my car and had it running for hours with the hot air blasting. And there were times when we would unfortunately just have to drop everything and run to warm up in the car, otherwise our health would be in danger. So
Wow.
everyone was getting frostbite, you know. I mean, we're all wearing gloves and things like that, but I think the only person that was safe from the bitter cold was my dog, because he has a very large fur coat. You saw him in the video for about a second.
Now, do you know where inside the house it took place? Like, I don't know if you're allowed to give out that location.
Oh, I'm sorry, what was the question?
Do you know where it was located? Because I noticed, like you said, it's like in the house. Do you know where?
Yeah. So the house was actually my parents' house, and it's in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Does that answer that question?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Now, who are those people inside the videos? Because now, are those Therians themselves, or they're just some random people?
Well, those people were actually actors. So I'm sorry to say they weren't Darians. We basically casted them using various websites, and they were all aspiring actors and actresses in the Philadelphia and outside Philadelphia area. I think there was maybe a couple from New Jersey or New York. But they were all really interested in participating, and a lot of them became so interested in Dare.com that a few of them did end up joining because they wanted to get into the role, they wanted to get into character, and they wanted to know what Dare.com was all about.
Wow, that's actually interesting. Who knew that the actors would actually join to sign up there.com? I was also curious. Hold on. Now with the now I noticed in, I think, what was it, the second video, they had a MacBook in it. Now, did they actually ran the client in there during the video, or was it just pretend that people were just playing on the MacBook?
That's actually a great question, and it was all the situations you saw. We used a process called green screen. So the screens were a neon green in the process, and in post-production through the computer, that green element was taken out and replaced with images and videos I took in Dare.com. So unfortunately, they were all faking it. However, as far as the MacBook, obviously at the time Dare.com wasn't compatible with Mac, but we kept that footage because they were planning to make a version that was compatible with Mac, so it would have still been relevant to the company.
I see. Do you have any questions, so?
I was thinking it was still relevant, definitely, to have the Mac in there. I play Dare on my Mac and just had a Windows emulator. So yeah, it wasn't like it was lying or anything.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, you can totally do anything for Mac these days if you have like Boot Camp, which is as it said, the emulator. So.
Yeah, that's actually I got myself a Mac for my graduation gift for high school, and I use it for college now. And I'm actually running a Mac on Second Life right now, and it's actually, I think it's a lot better with the Mac than it is with the Windows, because I feel like the Windows it uses up so much processor, and the Mac it doesn't use up a lot at all.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm trying now. Do you know? Have you ever met Janice in real life at all?
I haven't, but she's super, super nice, and I would love to meet her sometime. I'm not sure. I'm not. She not. I forget where she's located, but maybe one day, right?
Yeah, definitely. Now, what else did you do in there to produce the videos in Thea.com? What else kind of software did you have to use to make it?
Uh, I use Fraps, and I also used something called Final Cut Pro. It's a editing software for the Mac. It's actually an industry standard, so a lot of like movies you see and TV shows, stuff like that. A lot of them use Final Cut Pro. It's a very well-known program, and I use that to cut together the different video, and I boosted the color a little bit, not much, but made it a little glossy,
Yeah.
and yeah, those were the major programs.
Yeah, I was wondering, did you know what the concept of the advertisement was about? Like, did you know what kind of plans Thea.com had for the advertisement?
Yeah, so the original plans was it was going to be a promo that users would see the moment they entered the site. So they'd enter the site, and on the front page, they'd have a selection of 3 videos, and two would be the ones I created, and the last would be, I think it was called a Mall's Day Out, or something about that one girl, and it was just a way to attract users right away with something that's a little bit flashy and fun, and could tell the story of Dare.com in a short span of time, just to really, I'm assuming, just to really grab people from the start and show just really how much you can do in there as an avatar, and the kind of relationships that are formed, the activities, the events that happen, and also the other goal was to show that each of these characters is represented by a real life person somewhere that's just like you or I, and are all diverse. And you saw that by all the different actors we casted. They were all different ages, but all a lot of fun and looking to make connections and have fun. So they wanted to share all these messages. And that's one of the reasons why they wanted it, loud and up front on the front page of their website.
I see. So pretty much, like, even though let's say you're 53 years old, that this game's still for you, even though you may see teenagers in there. It's pretty much for all ages, as you may notice. Like, you may notice that there's a lot of adults in the virtual world than there is for teenagers. But also it's meant for every age to come in, socialize, interact, play games, cards, own a house, and everything.
Exactly, it's true. I think people don't right away. They don't unless they see it and they hear it and they experience it through video. It's hard using just the website and text to show just how action-packed the game can be and how fulfilling the game can be for a person, just because there's something for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Did you know how they were going to release it? Now, I know they were going to put it on YouTube and on their website, but did you know if they were going to put it anywhere else besides those two?
No, I think those were the main ones because I think most of the people who were coming to their, or who were interested in joining Dare.com would actually go straight to their site, and that'd be kind of the first thing they experience. But I'm actually not 100% sure if they were going to use it in other venues, but those are the two that I know that they talked about.
Yeah, I know for those people, if you are looking for the Connect and Play videos, they did remove it from YouTube, but I could get you guys I could get you guys the video. I think
They're on my site.
Yeah, they're on your
as well.
yeah, they're on your YouTube site, right? It's under Arielle Furman. Is that right? One word.
Exactly. Well, it's just framedin3d.com. All one word. Framedin3d.com. And the last, if you click on Reel, that's the last two videos there.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Isn't it like all she had to use was Fraps and frame cut 3D and like presto, it's like there you go, there's like your advertisement video.
Really glad that you still got it because I haven't seen it since There was up, and it's kind of sad that it was taken down. Obviously, you could tell a lot of work was put into it, and I have to go check it out again.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate that.
Do you have any questions?
Guys.
Anytime. Like, you did a lot of work for it, and I think you should deserve credit on it, you know what I mean?
I was just thinking, it's amazing. It's amazing how much extra work it sounds like taping in the real world is versus online. And do you very much prefer working with the online medium, taping in worlds, or do you also really like taping in live?
That's a great question. I gotta say, like, real life filming is, it's just, you're right. It's you hit the nail on the head. It's so much more energy, but it's also so much more money. So me personally, I like to, work strictly in virtual worlds, but sometimes you need real life video involved in a project for one reason or another, to almost bridge two worlds together. And I think when all is said and done, despite all the extra effort that goes into real life production, to see the two worlds at play intercutting is the strongest visual experience that I've ever gotten to produce. I think it's really strong to see that play, but a lot of extra work.
Especially when you have to deal with the weather.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The equipment, all that stuff, dealing with the equipment, it's tough because all that stuff is so expensive. You just have to be careful. You're in really delicate circumstances, so friction is high, or tension is high in the air, and I feel like filming in virtual worlds is a little bit more laid back, and also allows you with a little bit more freedom too, creative freedom.
Yeah, that is true, because you could do anything like in the virtual world than you could do in real life. It's like in real life there are limitations that even a human body or anything, even not a physical object, can handle. Like in a virtual world, you could pretty much make anything and it will work out fine.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Now, with your camera equipment, now what kind of camera did you guys use? Like, was it like a film type, or was it like a what's it called? Digital camera.
So the camera was called a RED, and it shot on data, on just video file data. You could just connect it to a computer and you just grab the video files. It's a really famous camera out there. A lot of cinematographers use it, and it's actually used to shoot a lot of indie feature films out there. It's well known for that.
I see. Now, like you said in a previous question about when they made the video and put it on the computer and use a green screen, do you think it was smart for them to use a green screen, or did you actually think that they should have used the computer and let them actually play on their .com and everything like that? Did you think it's smart of them doing that, or you think it's better off to see an actual person performing on there?
It's a good question, and I think that because we had some really experienced actors on set, they expressed the type of emotion that I was able to verbalize to them. So I thought about my experience with Dare.com and how I felt and how I probably looked when I first got into it. I was really amazed and curious, and my eyes probably sparkled. It was very new to me, and I told them this, and I said, that's an emotion. Can you recreate that for me? And it was for them, it was knife through cheese. It's it's probably the easiest request they ever got. And in a second, their face would completely change to recreate the emotions I expressed to them. And it was a powerful experience, and I thought that maybe in any other circumstance it would have been better for them to play the game, but because of their talent, they were able to express it really well. Anyway.
When I first watched it, I thought it actually came out great. I did not even notice that they were even using a green screen or anything like that. I thought they were actually physically playing the game and everything. They looked like they had a great time, and they really did a wonderful job on it. So you and your crew did a wonderful job in making it.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I had a really awesome, strong-willed set of guys there. They were all very talented, and I appreciate all their help with it.
Yeah. Did you? I don't know if you know that. Do you know their names that worked with you in making the videos besides the characters in there with their staff?
Yeah. So the guys that helped me with the real life set, the cinematographer was Benji Bakshi, and maybe I can type his name. It's just his website's benjibakshi.com, and he's really talented with lighting a scene and framing the camera angles, and that's basically his role. And some of the other guys. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds.
Sure.
I have it right. There was a lot of them. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We could play that Jeopardy music right now, and while we wait, and then when you come back, we could stop.
Do you want to ask me another question while I look for it?
Sure. So, do you have any questions as well for her?
I was just thinking, I never would have noticed that it wasn't an actual computer screen that is being displayed in your commercial. I thought it was them actually playing there. But isn't it true that computer screens don't render properly when you videotape them? That's why they use green screen.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It totally depends on the camera, but it's not ideal because you lose quality. So yeah, you're right. You know a little bit. I could tell have you dabbled a little bit in filmmaking before?
No, I just watch a lot of DVD extras.
Oh gosh, those are so much fun. I love behind the scenes.
Actually, I was actually thinking of that. Just actually came up in my head. What inspired you to develop, to start doing the virtual advertisement? What made you, who was your inspiration in it?
Oh, can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
It's okay. What made you start doing virtual advertisement? Who was your inspiration in doing it?
Oh, great question. So I started doing it as a class project. I took a new media class in school, and we had a speaker, and he told us all about Second Life, and I jumped in on it, and I thought it was so cool. And for my class, I wanted to show them, look at this new world, look at what people are creating here, and look at the characters people are playing here. But I had to figure out, well, how do I bring this to my class? Because I can't open Second Life in my class. The computers are too slow. So what do I do? So I figured out how to film, and that was my inspiration. I guess I was just trying to impress my classmates. I really wanted them to think I did a good job, and obviously I wanted to get a good grade, but that was my first inspiration on learning how to really capture virtual film. And from there, a couple people saw my project because I posted it on YouTube, and they contacted me to do some work. Because after that, I didn't intend to keep doing it. I thought it was fun for one time, but I guess I didn't see the future. Maybe I just didn't understand the value of it yet until people started contacting me to do work. And that's when I was flattered and realized the potential, and that was my inspiration, was realizing the potential that people have with machinima.
That's actually pretty interesting that you started just from a class project and the people just called you and be like, oh, could you do this for me and do this for me?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
I was curious. What kind of suggestions would you give out to people who do your type of thing, like your advertising? Like, what kind of ideas and suggestions you give to those people?
I think the number one suggestion I can give to other machinimatographers, I guess they're called, is to pre-visualize what you're going to film. So rather than jump in and film it, you'll realize how much drawing it on paper, writing out what your expectations are, or thinking it over and over in your head before you're actually going to shoot will help you on a shoot, will help you feel more confident on a shoot, and will help you get better shots if you plan it and just give your utmost dedication to it beforehand. Because if you come prepared on a set and you hold your little virtual camera in your hand, you'll be I feel a much better artist that way.
Yeah, that's actually a wonderful suggestion that you made.
So that goes a long way.
Yeah.
You're right. Now, besides that, like, trying to think, this is what happens when you have a question and then you just, like, lose it. What's your future plans that you have in virtual advertisements? Like, would you like to expand out more than what you're doing right now, or do you think what you have is perfect?
Definitely want to expand, and I think what I'm trying to do now is just create more game trailers. So similar to what I made for There.com, and for some recent virtual worlds that are opening, and working with them on their advertising. And the other side, which actually probably a complete flip of the coin, has nothing to do with this at all, but I'm actually interested in expanding into litigation animation, which means animation for law, just because I think it's really cool. Like, they use animation a lot in the courtroom, so I think my dream job would be like someone murders someone, and then they need to show how it happens, so I actually can recreate this really almost grotesque scene. It would just be so obscure.
Like CSI, like how they have that like a special 3D virtual synopsis on how the killer shot the victim, because I actually sort of saw that in one of the episodes.
Yeah, exactly. because the reason they use animation is because like they can't recreate it, and people don't know how it happened, especially like the jury and stuff. They need to see it, so they
Yeah.
like, you know, the animator works with like the key witness who saw it with his or her own eyes, and they like tell the animator how it happened, and the animator just like creates it. And like I think Second Life is the perfect avenue for that. It's also a really good market too.
Yeah. Now now do you what was that so?
I was going to say, it sounds like a really good expansion from, you've got the character sketch artists to the situational sketch artists, recreating the whole scene as opposed to just somebody's face. That's a fascinating idea. I never thought of that.
Yeah, definitely. It kind of goes from like non-fiction to fiction, because you know a lot of what I create here are just mock-up scenarios. They're fictional, right? And then when you have something like litigation, it's all real. Like this stuff happens. It's almost creepy to think about, but I thought it's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is, and I think that's really great. Like what you want to do, like your future goal.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Do you have anything else so that you like to share? Like that you want to ask or anything?
Sure. You mentioned that you've worked mainly with Second Life and then with Dare as well, and that you were working on creating some other commercials for other worlds. Are you able to tell us what other worlds you've been working with?
Yes. Actually, I'm shooting something this Thursday for a team in Unity 3D. And Unity 3D is a biggie. There's a lot of really talented people that are all trying to create their own virtual world. And there's one in particular I'm working with, but maybe I could just send you a link when I'm done, Coolnet. I don't know if I could say in particular which team, but if you don't mind,
Okay.
Coolnet, I can definitely show you a link to the finished work.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's fine.
Have you guys have you guys heard of Unity?
Yeah, definitely. That's the one that Real Life Plus is going to be building using.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are using Unity. I didn't know that. Yeah, I took a look at your site, and I was telling Coolnet, I think it'd be a great place for kind of some of these lost Darians to get back together, because it just strikes me as a similar kind of atmosphere, just like very warm and engaging and interactive and stuff.
Glad to hear so, yeah. There's a lot of Darians there. It's got a good Darian kind of vibe, so it's attracted a lot of this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm very grateful for Terry, the CEO of Real Life Plus, and their staff member for welcoming us into Real Life Plus, because I think without them, I think everyone from there.com would be lost. Like, they wouldn't be that lost, but they would be separated from their Ethereum friends. But Real Life Plus actually helps us to bring in our there.com friends and unite them, and they actually do listen, and I think that's what's the most key important is listen. Now, even though that a member may think that a member may say something that's completely crazy and they don't really care, it's better just to be like, yes, like just nod, you know what I mean? Because, you know what I mean, it shows them that you're actually trying to listen and you're hearing what they're saying. And I think that's what's so great about Real Life Plus is that they actually listen to your suggestions, and they will work with the engineers in making it into like a perfect virtual world.
Yeah, absolutely. The people who are in the community have actually influenced the direction and what's on the priority list at Real Life Plus quite a bit already. So it's not like, exactly like you said, it's not like, sure, whatever. It's they're actually listening. It's actually making a difference.
Exactly.
I was asked, so have you considered also reaching out to, was it Small World that closed earlier this year as well? Small Worlds, right?
I just tested Small Worlds through Facebook, so I don't think it's them that went down.
Oh, okay. Never mind. There was someone else. I hope I didn't give a bad name to them or anything. There was someone else that went down maybe a couple months ago. Maybe I can send you the article, but I think it had a pretty big user base. Maybe that's some.
I know
you guys could also
about.
be reaching out to them to have an alternative place to connect to each other.
I think I know you're talking about. Yeah, I think I know you're talking about this. I remember right after Michael West announced his announcement about their closing, there was an article. There was a friend of mine sent me a link telling me that this Oslo virtual world was closing, and it was a big virtual world as well, just like their.com. And
Right.
I think that might be the one that you're talking about. I gotta
Yeah, it
find
was right
it.
around the same time. Yeah, let me know if you find it, and I'll look around as well.
What was also interesting is, have you heard of VMTV before?
The MTV Virtual World?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Now it's actually almost exact replica of their.com. They use the same platform and everything, but there's a little difference, of course, with the whole names and stuff like that. But if you went on Virtual World MTV, you would definitely get in there like in a heartbeat, because it's pretty much they were using the same thing as their.com was using as well.
Oh, wow, yeah. That's
Yeah,
neat.
but-
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, but they actually also closed before they are closed, which is actually kind of interesting. But let's try not to get into the whole dispute on that. So, what are your current projects? Like, what current projects are you working on right now? If you could share with us.
Oh, me or?
No, with you.
Okay. So I actually just completed a training video. Again, that's another thing animation is great at, is any training scenario that's deadly, things setting on fire, disastrous weather scenarios, and they need to train people how to get the heck out of there or save other lives. So I've been dabbling with that and just finished one, and another project, which I'm kind of scratching my head because I don't know if I could say much about it, but basically it was for a pharmaceutical company, and it was their view of how life would be many years from now, and it's more of a fun piece for them to share with like the insiders on their company, their employees and stuff, to show the progress of their company and how technology will change. And it's really interesting. Just think about like you driving a car. While you're driving your car, you're able to hear Twitter status updates and be able to like work from your car without impacting your driving, and be able to like use your Wii at home to access your desk system at home, or access your work right from home, like things that will make us more productive in the workplace. Yeah, it's I guess a little bit of corporate training videos, some promotional videos, things like that. But they're all always so different, but always really unique, I think, and fun. I always have a good time, no matter what it is. I just have a blast.
That is actually pretty great. Like what you're doing with the current projects. Have you ever checked out other virtual worlds like Blue Mars and what else? Onverse, like all those others, V-Side?
Yeah, those are. I checked out Blue Mars, and I checked out a couple browser-based worlds. Yeah, they're great. I'm a big fan of Blue Mars. When I see those graphics, like I'm on the edge of my seat, and it makes me really feel for what the future holds as far as outstanding graphics.
Yeah, like when I first entered, now I had to use Boot Camp, of course, because they're not up to the Mac client, and I think they're coming out with a cloud server this year, which is not ready yet. It's going to be able to allow any computer to be able to use FluMars, whether you have a Unix operating system or Linux or just a very old computer of Windows. You should be able to access it with through, I think, a web browser. Now, when I saw it for the first time, I was surprised. Like, I was like shocked. Like, just seeing like crystal clear water, and like you can see like every movement of it. It's like watching a movie in HD. It's really crazy.
It really is. That was definitely my experience too.
And that's what I love, but it also does take a toll on it for those who don't have high-end computers.
It's unfortunate because the graphics are pretty amazing in Bloomers. The trees actually look like trees. It's fabulous.
Yeah, and there comes. Oh yes, that's also true. That is also true. So Arielle, do you have any questions for us about Real Life Plus at all? Because I know that you were interested in it.
Yeah, I was wondering, is it available? Do you guys have a trial version out, or is it available for just an open download right now?
Well, we're not available for download yet. What we've done is just entered the closed beta for the first piece of Real Life Plus, and we are going to be releasing it piece by piece. And what's available right now is Style Studio, which is our clothing design tool, and that's being made. The idea behind it is that we want people not just who have really high-end image editing programs, but also people who just have a passion for fashion. They can log into Style Studio and get designing and to get up and going within 30 seconds. You don't need a lot of training. You don't need a tutorial. You just log in and go. So, yeah, that's the first piece of it. And as I said, it's in closed beta right now, and we're hoping to go to open beta with that very soon, and then add more pieces, which, of course, I can't talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds really amazing. So you guys have a little bit of like user development going on. So can users design other things as well in your world?
Yes, that is the plan. This is not going to be the be-all and end-all of the user creation tools. This is just the one that anybody can use. There will also be higher-end developer tools where people can take the template and paint skins directly on that. But that's not in testing yet.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. And are you guys catering, like what would be your, like ideal user base? Or are you catering a little bit to bring some businesses in and things like that? Or if you're not allowed to talk about it, I understand.
Yeah, with the sponsors, I think it will be open to sponsorship. But for the key demographic, if that's what you're talking about, the key demographic we're looking for is PG-13, so 13 minimum, and we're looking at a mature audience, but not a mature as in XXX mature.
Gotcha.
Actually, during the webisode that they had last week, I signed up for the webisode through there. I think, what was it, the iBright? I think that was called, or something like that. No, Everbright, that's what it was called.
Eventbrite.
Yeah, and during that, I also signed up for the Pop Chips, which I hopefully will be getting them soon because I'm so excited for those. And also, I did sign up for the Style Studio, and when I first went in there, it was outstanding, like how easy it was just to make a texture, and it was just like, even like maybe a 6-year-old could just go on it right now and just design it, you know what I mean? It's just so easy. I don't know how easy it could get.
The ease of use is really amazing on that, and it's just going to get better because we've only enabled a few of the tools with that, and there'll be more within the next few days.
It sounds like it will really attract a lot of designers because they say, to have like loyalty. I would imagine players kind of need to be hooked within the first, I'd say probably half the hour of experiencing it, and it sounds like your ease of use will let people slide in really easily, and the creation tools I think are so important because there's nothing like feeling you're in control of something greater that you can share with others. So I think you guys have something really good, and I can't wait to check it out.
Awesome, that would be great. Yeah, the plan is to have a lot of user-created content and to really allow people to take ownership of the world by being able to add to it, not just experience it, but also add to it. So I'm hoping that there'll be a lot of tools for machinima artists like yourselves to come in and make videos in Real Life Plus. That would be amazing. Really looking forward to that.
Yeah, that sounds fun. And are you guys browser-based, or you guys are just going to be a software download?
I'm not sure I can talk about that, so I'm just going to not, just in case.
Okay, oh, I understand. But it definitely sounds exciting, and I will definitely be checking back often.
I think we're only allowed to have one more question from each party. So, do you still have a question for Arielle, or Ariella, do you have any questions for Zoe about Relay Plus?
I think no, I think she got me really excited about it, and that was my main question was uh, user creation, and I guess I just have a comment. I just really appreciate game designers who implement that, just because it's almost like they're granting their world to to the users, and like maybe that level of control might be a little scary because you don't know like the quality of content you'll get and everything, but I think Second Life is a prime example of that. Just some of the sheer talent that comes out of that, and kind of almost like paints the world. It's really inspiring. So I appreciate that you guys are venturing in that direction. I think that will be really successful for you guys.
In my opinion, designers and people who make things in world, they're like the lifeblood of a world, and when you allow them to create what they want without limit or with very little limit, you're really allowing for, there is the risk of having really low quality stuff, but at the same time, without allowing for that, you would get the amazing things that people come up with that completely surprise the people who run the worlds. If you don't limit people, then the sky's the limit, really.
Right.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah, I think that was actually the main issue with there. I think that you were so limited on what you were able to create and everything that it actually took the developers into consideration that maybe this is not a good place to develop, because if I can't create what I really want to create in my heart, then there's really no point. Like, and I do see a limitation in it. You know what I mean? There are guidelines that you do have to follow. You know what I mean? And what the textures you're allowed to use and stuff like that, which that's understandable. But it's like some things like you can't do just for no reason didn't really make any sense. But I feel like Real Life Plus is listening to the developers, because I see that developers are the key importance for a virtual world. And if you don't listen to the developers, you will like have problems just holding up your business on the thread. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that is it for today. I'd like to thank Sud from Real Life Plus Community Team to come by and join us with the interview, and I'd like to thank Arielle Furman to come by and with the interview and everything.
Yeah, thank you. It was great meeting you, Sod. And I appreciate this Coolnet. This was a lot of fun.
No problem. And it's something. One day I was actually wonder who made the There.com videos, and I did some searching. I found you on YouTube, and then I found you on Twitter, and that's how it all started. It's just so interesting, like how just like with it's playing with a computer and data, you could create something like that. It's really outstanding what your imagination could handle in the virtual world.
Yeah, I think there's a good term for that. I think it's called the desktop revolution. Just like people like you and I who kind of create their own content and kind of have a revolution via the computer.
Yeah, and I actually like to thank Francis Seven. He couldn't sit with us because he's recording this right now. I like to thank him for his hard work and taking time away and videotaping this for us. And he's also a wonderful designer and a video person as well. Like if you've seen his videos, Virtual Vicky, on YouTube, you should see what kind of work that he's done. It's really funny and also excellent. It's just we really never see that, and I think he's done a great job, and you also done a great job as well.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Francis, for your help. And this was a good experience.
All right, everyone, take care, enjoy your summer, and have a wonderful day.
Thanks, guys. Cool. So
Videos that they wanted you to do.
I never textured any of it. Well, I used the free textures, but they're not quite suit.